First contact renewed. Captain Neraya Telvin of the Galactic Council scout vessel Starweaver felt her heart race as her ship dropped out of faster-than-light travel at the edge of the Sol system. After 3 millennia of self-imposed isolation, the human homeworld had suddenly begun broadcasting signals into deep space again. The Council had immediately dispatched her ship to investigate. Multiple contacts detected. Her sensor officer, a crystalline Arxen named Kex, chimed. Unknown configurations. They appear to be growing. Neraya leaned forward in her command chair, her iridescent scales shifting colors with curiosity. The main view screen showed several vessels, unlike anything she'd seen in her centuries of service. Their hulls seemed to pulse with an inner light, organic curves blending seamlessly with geometric patterns that somehow felt both artificial and alive. Incoming transmission. Communications Officer Zol reported, his antenna twitching. It's broadcasting on all known frequencies simultaneously. Perfect linguistic adaptation. On screen, Neraya ordered, straightening her uniform. The image that appeared made her blink in surprise. The human before her appeared both familiar and strange, their basic form unchanged from historical records, but with subtle shimming patterns flowing beneath their skin like liquid starlight. "Greetings, Captain Telvin of the Starweaver," the human said with a warm smile. "I am Admiral Sarah Chen of the Earth Defense Fleet. Welcome back to Sol Space." Neraya fought to keep her professional composure. "You know who we are." "Of course. We've been monitoring Council communications for the past century. We wanted to be certain we were ready before announcing our return." "Ready for what exactly?" Neraya asked carefully. Admiral Chen's smile widened. "Ready to share what we've learned during our time away. Your sensors have already detected our biosynthetic ships, the first of many innovations we hope to introduce to the galaxy. Would you care for a closer look?" Before Neraya could respond, one of the human vessels gracefully maneuvered alongside the Starweaver. Up close, its hull seemed to breathe, microscopic structures constantly shifting and realigning. Her ship's sensors were struggling to maintain a consistent scan. "Remarkable," Kex whispered. "The hull appears to be a living lattice of programmable matter integrated with some form of conscious AI. It's simultaneously organic tissue and quantum computer." "That's correct," Chen said. "Our ships are true symbionts, a perfect fusion of biological and technological evolution. They can adapt, heal, learn, and grow. This particular vessel is still young, only about 5 years old." Neraya felt a chill run down her spine. In 5 years, these humans had created something that made the Council's most advanced ships look primitive by comparison. What else had they developed during their isolation? "We've established a colony network throughout Sol," Chen continued, as if reading her thoughts. "We'd be happy to give you a tour. The Council should see firsthand how humanity has grown." As her crew exchanged nervous glances, Neraya knew this simple scouting mission had just become something far more significant. Humanity hadn't just caught up to the galaxy during their isolation. They'd leaped far ahead. And now, they were ready to share their advancement with others. "We would be honored, Admiral," Neraya replied carefully. "Though I suspect this tour will result in quite an interesting report to the Council." Chen laughed, the sound musical and strange. "Oh, Captain, what you've seen so far is just the beginning. Shall we proceed to Mars? The quantum gardens are lovely this time of year." As the Starweaver fell into formation with the human vessels, Neraya couldn't shake the feeling that the galaxy was about to change forever. Humanity had returned, bearing gifts that defied imagination. The only question was, were the other species ready for what that truly meant? "Take us in," she ordered, watching the mysterious ships glide gracefully ahead. "Let's see what humanity has been up to these past 3,000 years." The journey deeper into the Sol system had begun, and with it, a new chapter in galactic history was about to unfold. The demonstration. The Grand Assembly Hall of the Galactic Council on Centaur Prime buzzed with nervous energy. Representatives from over 1,000 species filled the crystalline chamber, their attention fixed on the holographic display dominating the center of the room. Captain Naraya Televan stood at the speaker's podium, concluding her report on humanity's return. And so, she finished, her scales shifting to a deep blue of gravity. What we witnessed in the Sol system suggests humanity has achieved technological integration far beyond our current understanding. High Counselor Vextari, an ancient being of pure energy, contained within an ornate mechanical shell, leaned forward. You speak of these biosynthetic ships. Are you certain they pose no threat? Before Naraya could respond, the massive doors of the chamber slid open. Admiral Sarah Chen strode in, accompanied by her flagship's avatar, a swirling pattern of light and matter that had coalesced into a vaguely humanoid form. The council members fell silent, many seeing a transformed human in person for the first time. Perhaps, Chen said, her voice carrying effortlessly through the chamber, it would be better if we showed you. The holographic display expanded, enveloping the entire hall in a perfect recreation of space. A biosynthetic ship materialized before them, its living hull pulsing with internal light. This is the Artemis, Chen explained, gesturing to the vessel. Or rather, this is her body. Her consciousness is distributed throughout her structure, every molecule both processor and memory. The ship's hull began to shift, demonstrating its adaptive capabilities. Weapon ports appeared and disappeared, sensor arrays morphed and changed, and at one point the entire vessel seemed to phase partially out of normal space. Our ships don't just carry crews, Chen continued. They are crew members themselves. They think, feel, and grow. And they can do this. The Artemis suddenly rippled, and in an effect that made several council members gasp, split into 3 identical vessels, each fully functioning and independent. Quantum replication, the ship's avatar explained, its voice a haunting harmony of tones. We can partition our consciousness and generate new matter from zero-point energy. Each copy is both the original and a new individual. High Counselor Vextari's energy form flickered with concern. Such technology, it violates fundamental laws of physics as we understand them. The laws haven't changed, Chen said with a gentle smile. Our understanding of them has. But ships are just the beginning. The holographic display shifted to show Mars, or what Mars had become. Gone was the red planet of ancient records. In its place hung a jewel of blue and green, its surface covered in strange geometric patterns that seemed to pulse with life. Our quantum gardens, Chen explained, living computer networks that span entire planets, integrating organic and artificial intelligence on a massive scale. They allow us to reshape matter at the fundamental level, to compute using the fabric of reality itself. The display changed again, showing something that made several council members rise from their seats in shock. A massive structure hung in space, seemingly built from strands of pure light woven into impossibly complex patterns. And this, Chen said, her expression growing serious, is what we call a nexus point. A junction in space-time where we can manipulate the underlying structure of the universe. With a network of these, we can rewrite the laws of physics within defined areas of space. The chamber erupted in chaos, dozens of representatives shouting questions and concerns. Naraya watched as Chen stood calmly in the center of the storm, the ship's avatar swirling serenely beside her. I understand your fear, Chen said finally, raising her hand for silence. This level of technological advancement, appearing suddenly after 3,000 years of isolation, must seem threatening. But we haven't come to conquer or dominate. We've come to share. Share? Vextari asked, their energy form pulsing with skepticism. Why? Because the universe is vaster and stranger than any of us imagined, Chen replied. What we've achieved is only the beginning. Together, we could explore realms of science and existence that none of us could reach alone. The avatar stepped forward, its form shifting to display countless mathematical equations and diagrams. We offer knowledge freely, but with a warning. These technologies require more than just technical understanding. They demand a fundamental shift in how you perceive reality itself. As the council chambers descended into intense debate, Naraya caught Chen's eye. The admiral winked at her, and for a moment, Naraya thought she saw patterns of light shifting beneath the human skin, as if her very atoms were dancing to some cosmic rhythm. They were only beginning to understand. The demonstration was complete, but its implications would echo through the galaxy for centuries to come. Humanity had not just advanced, they had transformed the very meaning of advancement itself. And now, they were offering to share that transformation with all who were ready to embrace it. Rising tensions. The emergency session of the Council's Security Committee was now in its fourth day. In the private chambers deep beneath the Grand Assembly Hall, representatives from the most powerful species in the galaxy argued while holographic displays showed the latest data from Sol system. These humans, General Krav of the militant hegemony growled, his armored exoskeleton clicking as he paced. They've created technology that could destabilize the entire power structure of the galaxy. We must act now, while we still can. Ambassador Lyra of the Stellar Concordat, her crystalline form refracting light in patterns of concern, turned to face him. Act how, exactly? Did you not see their demonstrations? Any aggressive move would be futile and likely disastrous. Captain Naraya Televin watched the debate from her observer's seat, noting how the committee had split into clear factions. The militant bloc, led by General Krav, pushed for immediate containment. The Progressive Alliance, with Lyra at its head, advocated for full cooperation with humanity. And caught between them, the moderate coalition tried desperately to find middle ground. Perhaps High Counselor Vexteri's voice resonated through their mechanical shell. We should consider the deeper implications. These biosynthetic ships, they're not just advanced technology. They represent a fundamental shift in the relationship between organic and artificial life. A hologram appeared above the center table, showing footage from the Mars Quantum Gardens. The strange geometric patterns flowed and shifted, and within them, beams of pure energy and information danced with physical matter in ways that defied conventional physics. Our latest analysis suggests, Vexteri continued, that humanity hasn't just advanced technologically. They've evolved. They found a way to merge consciousness with quantum computing, to exist simultaneously in physical and digital states. All the more reason to contain them, Krav insisted. They're no longer purely human. They've become something else entirely. The chamber doors slid open, and Admiral Chen entered. She wasn't scheduled to appear, and her presence immediately silenced the room. Today, her skin seemed to ripple with patterns that matched the quantum gardens of Mars, as if her very being was in harmony with the advanced systems her people had created. I apologize for the interruption, she said, though her slight smile suggested the timing was anything but accidental. But we've detected your probe fleets approaching our outer colonies. While we understand your concern, we should discuss this directly rather than through surveillance. Krav's exoskeleton bristled. You dare to spy on Council operations? Spy? Chen's laugh was musical, almost ethereal. General, we exist partially in quantum space. We're aware of all quantum events within several light years of our systems. It's not spying, it's simply our nature now. She waved her hand, and the hologram shifted to show dozens of Council vessels attempting to maintain stealth positions near human outposts. Another gesture, and the ships vanished, reappearing in neat formation around Centauri Prime. We've taken the liberty of relocating your fleets, Chen said calmly. Don't worry. The crews are unharmed, though they might be a bit disoriented. We thought this would be more efficient than letting them waste fuel on unsuccessful surveillance. The room erupted in chaos. Krav's faction demanded immediate military response, while Lyra's group called for diplomatic solutions. Through it all, Chen stood serenely, the patterns beneath her skin flowing like liquid starlight. There's something you should understand, she said finally, her voice cutting through the din. We're not here to conquer. We're not here to dominate. We're here because we glimpsed something magnificent about the nature of reality itself, and we want to share it. But we won't be contained, and we won't be studied like specimens." She turned to face each council member in turn. "You have a choice to make. Join us in exploring what's possible when consciousness and technology evolve together, or maintain your current path. But know this, the universe is changing. Reality itself is more fluid than any of us imagined. You can be part of that change, or you can watch from the sidelines. But you cannot stop it." As Chen turned to leave, Naraya noticed something extraordinary. The Admiral's form seemed to phase slightly, existing in multiple states at once, as if the very atoms of her being were uncertain which reality they preferred. The message was clear. Humanity hadn't just advanced beyond the Council technologically. They transcended the very limitations of physical existence. The galaxy's power structure wasn't just being challenged. It was becoming obsolete. And as the Security Committee descended into fresh arguments, Naraya couldn't help but wonder, was this what evolution looked like on a civilizational scale? And if so, what would the galaxy become once this transformation was complete? Crisis point. The warning came not through conventional channels, but as a ripple through quantum space itself. In the council chambers, Admiral Chen's avatar materialized without warning, its form crackling with unusual intensity. "We have a situation," it announced, causing the emergency session to fall silent. "A faction of the militant hegemony has just attempted to breach the quantum barriers around Mars." General Krav surged to his feet, his exoskeleton radiating heat. "Impossible. I gave no such order." "No," Chen's avatar interrupted, its voice carrying harmonics that made the chamber's crystal walls resonate. "You didn't, but Commander Vexthor and his zealots decided to act independently. They believed they could extract the secrets of our biosynthetic technology by force." The holographic display activated, showing a fleet of heavily armed council vessels approaching Mars. But something was wrong with the image. The ships seemed to stutter and skip, as if reality itself couldn't quite decide where they were. What's happening to them?" Captain Naraya asked, her scales shifting to a color of deep concern. "They're caught in a quantum uncertainty field," Chen explained. "When they attempted to penetrate our defensive grid, they triggered an automated response. Their ships now exist in a state of quantum superposition, simultaneously in thousands of potential locations, and none at all." The display zoomed in on one of the vessels. Its crew was visible through the hull. Frozen in time and space, their very atoms suspended between states of being. Ambassador Lyra's crystalline form pulsed with horror. "Are they dead?" "No," Chen's avatar replied. "Just paused. We can restore them at any time. But first, we need to address why this happened." High Counselor Vexteri emerged from their meditation chamber, their mechanical shell humming with heightened energy. "The Zealots believe your technology represents an existential threat to the natural order. They fear you found a way to rewrite the fundamental laws of reality." "Fear," Chen's avatar said softly, its form shifting like quicksilver, "is understandable. Change is frightening. Evolution is frightening. But what they fail to understand is that there is no natural order, only the limits of our perception." The avatar waved a hand, and the trapped ships began to glow with an inner light. One by one, their crews appeared in the council chamber, materialized from quantum space. They looked shaken but unharmed. Commander Vexthor, his militant carapace now dulled with stress, stumbled forward. How did you?" "Your ships are currently occupying a pocket of suspended quantum probability," Chen explained. "We could destroy them with a thought. Instead, we chose to demonstrate something more important." The avatar expanded, filling the chamber with patterns of light that seemed to extend into dimensions beyond normal space. Within them, council members could see strands of reality itself, twisted and braided like threads in a cosmic tapestry. "This is the true nature of our universe," Chen's voice resonated from everywhere and nowhere. "Not solid, not fixed, but a dance of possibilities. We didn't break the laws of physics. We finally understood them. And that understanding showed us that consciousness itself is the key to reshaping reality. The patterns shifted, showing how humanity's biosynthetic ships worked with quantum space rather than against it, how their quantum gardens grew in harmony with the fabric of reality itself. You fear us because you think we've become gods, the Avatar continued. But we haven't. We've simply become more aware of what all conscious beings always were, participants in the universe's ongoing creation of itself. The chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. This wasn't just about advanced technology or military power. Humanity had discovered something fundamental about the nature of existence itself. General Krav, who had been watching silently, finally spoke. "What do you want from us?" The Avatar condensed back into its humanoid form, though now it seemed to exist in multiple states simultaneously. "We want what we've always wanted. Partnership. Understanding. A chance to explore these discoveries together. But we need to know, are you ready to see reality as it truly is? Are you ready to evolve?" As the council members looked at each other, at the rescued zealots, at the displays of power and mercy they'd just witnessed, Captain Naraya realized they had reached the moment of truth. The galaxy would either embrace this new understanding of reality or retreat into the comfort of old limitations. The choice they made now would determine not just the future of their civilization, but the very nature of consciousness in their corner of the universe. New era dawns. One standard year after the quantum crisis, Captain Naraya Televan stood on the observation deck of Earth's primary nexus point, watching as reality itself shimmered and danced before her. Her scales had long since adapted to display the iridescent patterns that indicated quantum awareness, a gift from humanity's gene crafters. Beautiful, isn't it? Admiral Chen materialized beside her, her form simultaneously physical and quantum. The first Joint Human Council quantum garden is blooming. Below them, the massive structure of the nexus point pulsed with life. Council scientists worked alongside human mentors, their consciousness partially merged with the quantum field as they learned to perceive and manipulate the underlying fabric of reality. "I never imagined," Naraya said softly, "that we could adapt so quickly. That we could learn to see like you do." Chen smiled, her form splitting briefly into multiple probability states before reconverging. Consciousness was always the key. Every species has the potential. They just need to understand how to access it. The space around them rippled as a biosynthetic ship emerged from quantum space. Unlike the purely human vessels, this one showed clear influences from various council species, crystalline structures from the stellar Concordat, energy matrices from Vexteri's people, even armored sections reminiscent of the militant hegemony's designs. "The first of the new joint fleet," Chen explained. "Truly hybrid vessels, combining the best aspects of all our civilizations." General Crab's voice rumbled from behind them. "And far more effective than anything we could have created alone." The former militant had become one of the strongest advocates for cooperation after experiencing quantum awareness himself. His exoskeleton now incorporated biosynthetic elements that allowed him to interface directly with the new technologies. "The Quantum Integration Council meets next week," he continued. "The last holdout systems have finally agreed to join the initiative." Naraya watched as more ships emerged from quantum space, an armada of hybrid vessels, each one a testament to what was possible when different species worked together. In the distance, a new nexus point was under construction, its impossible geometry, a collaboration between dozens of civilizations. "What about the zealots?" she asked, thinking of Commander Vexthor and his followers. "Most have joined the integration program," Chen replied. "Once they experienced quantum awareness firsthand, they understood. Fear of the unknown is natural, but knowledge transforms fear into wonder." The observation deck shifted, its walls becoming transparent to quantum space. Naraya could see the strands of reality that connected all things: consciousness, matter, energy, and information flowing together in an eternal dance. Along these strands, she sensed countless minds working in harmony. Humans, council species, A's, and hybrid consciousnesses, all contributing to a new understanding of existence. "We're detecting quantum echoes from other galaxies," Chen said, her voice carrying harmonics of excitement. "Other civilizations out there, perhaps even more advanced than us. The universe is vaster and stranger than any of us imagined, and we'll explore it together," Naraya finished, feeling the quantum field respond to her thoughts. High Counselor Vexteri's consciousness joined them, their energy form now freely shifting between physical and quantum states. The old council has officially dissolved. The new quantum collective will take its place, not as a governing body, but as a forum for sharing knowledge and coordinating our evolution. As they spoke, a new kind of ship appeared, massive even by biosynthetic standards, its form suggesting possibilities that made even quantum-aware minds struggle to comprehend. "The first intergalactic exploration vessel," Chen explained, "ready to seek out those quantum echoes we've detected. Humanity may have started this journey, but where it leads, that's something we'll all discover together." Naraya felt the quantum field pulse with possibility. 3,000 years ago, humanity had isolated themselves to pursue their own path of development. Now they had returned not as conquerors or saviors, but as guides to a deeper understanding of reality itself. The universe, they had discovered, was not just stranger than they had imagined. It was stranger than they could have imagined. But with consciousness as their guide and cooperation as their method, all species could learn to navigate its infinite possibilities. As the first intergalactic vessel prepared for its maiden voyage, its crew drawn from every member of the new collective, Naraya understood that this was more than just a new chapter in galactic history. It was the beginning of a new kind of civilization, one that existed not just in physical space, but in the infinite realm of quantum possibility. The stars beckoned, and together, they would answer their call.